Mrs. Pearson had told George that what the other people in the club they think of him, and which name the other people call him in their club. At this, George Pearson was very much hurt. The reason is that we know that George Pearson was very pompous. Pompous means he used to give lots of importance to himself, and whenever he heard that other people actually called him in different name, they make fun out of him. So really, he was very hurt at this, and he actually went out of that room. Okay, went out of that room. We completed up to this with that speech. Slowly, well, I will be damned. Means I am finished. I am finished. You know the way George actually Pearson actually his wife had told him. His wife had told him. You know, and then he told that I have been damned. Now, from this, now George exit leapt slowly, almost as if somebody had hit him over the head. I am reading from page number 45. Yes, page number 45. That he told that George exit leapt slowly, almost as if somebody had hit him over the head. Cyril, after watching him go, turns indignantly to Mrs. Pearson. Now, actually, unsteadily, being so much hurt mentally, George Pearson left the room, and when he went out of that room, his son Cyril Pearson indignantly, means losing his patience. Actually, he looked at his mother. Now, Cyril, now you shouldn't have told that him, mom. Now, Cyril told the mother, you should not tell all this to my father. That's not fair. You have hurt his feelings, mine too. Now, the son told to his mother that what you have done just now, why you have told all these things to my dad, because by doing this, you have hurt his feelings, and by doing this, you have hurt my feelings as well. Now, mother has told now. Sometimes it does people good to have their feelings hurt, mother is telling. That sometimes it's good, that sometimes actually people, it's good to hurt the people's feeling. The truth ought not to hurt anybody for long. And mother told that you see what I have told to your father, it's the true thing. Okay, yes, it's true. It was very harsh, but it's true. And I feel that truth should not hurt people, or should not hurt anyone for long. If your father didn't go to the club so often, perhaps they would stop laughing at him. And mother told that I told your father this might have a positive side also by actually listening this. If your father would stop going to the club frequently, then automatically the other club members, they will not call your father in different name. At this, the son told, I doubt it. Gloomily means sadly. Sadly, the son told, I doubt it. Means the son told that I do not agree with you. What you are telling, that you have told my father that what the people call him in the club, and father was very much hurt at his feeling has been hurt by this, and you are telling that that might be a good effect on him also, because your father would not go to the club frequently. At this, the son told, I doubt, means the son told, I don't believe that father would stop going to the club. Now, or it would do any good to him. At this, mother is getting serious. Possibly you do, but what I doubt is whether your opinion is worth having. Now, mother is telling, okay, you may have your doubt, but I am having enough doubt that how much oath I should give to your opinion. What do you know? What do you know? The mother is charging to the son. You are telling that you doubt what I have told? Or you doubt with my opinion. So I doubt in your opinion. And I'm asking you, what do you know? Nothing. You spent too much time and good money at greyhound races and dart tracks and ice shows. Don't forget, Cyril is not her son. Cyril is son of Mrs. Pearson, and this is Mrs. Fitzgerald. But Mrs. Fitzgerald knew very well that where does Cyril go. Probably Cyril's own mother did not know that where his son generally goes. But actually Fitzgerald, though she was a neighbor, but she knew where Cyril used to go and how Cyril spends his life. That is why the mother is telling, though Cyril knew that Cyril was looking her as a mother because she was just looking like her mother, but we know, being the readers, we know she is not actually his mother. Now, actually the mother told that is this the way, and then we know that greyhound races, dirt tracks, ice shows, these are all the shows where people go for gambling. You know, actually those people are gamblers. So actually mother told Cyril that you were a gambler. You spent a good amount of money there. Now Cyril at this, sulkly means with that dissatisfied expression, gumra mukhe. Well, what if I do? What if I do? I have got to enjoy myself somehow, haven't I? The son is getting so angry. You know, why it has been spoiled. Is this the way that son is talking to a mother? The son did not know that it is not their mother. We being reader, we know it. The son should know that it is his mother. But still, he was talking in such a way to his mother. That what is the problem if I go there? I'm just enjoying my life. This is the way that I could lead my life. Now mother told, I wouldn't mind so much if you were really enjoying yourself. Mother is telling, okay, you were telling that you are enjoying your life. I would not mind anything if you really enjoy your life in this way. But are you, mother is asking to the son, are you enjoying your life? And where it's getting you? Where is it getting you? Now mother is telling that, do you know what effect it would have on you? Where you are going day after day? Means this type of enjoyment in your life, could you imagine that where this type of enjoyment would one day take to you? There is a servant hurried, knocking heard of left, and in that time they heard a knocking sound by the door, by the left side door. Now Cyril, might be for me, I will see. And Cyril told, okay, probably that somebody had come to call me, I'm going. I'm going. I'm just calling, I'm going. Now Cyril hurries out left. In a moment he re-enters, closing the door behind him, and Cyril went to open the door, and again immediately Cyril came back, just after he opened the door and they closed the door, and came re-entered, and what he was telling to his mother, it's that silly old bag from the next door, Mrs. Fitzgerald. Cyril was very poor. Why I'm telling that, she was telling Mrs. Fitzgerald, she was an old bag, silly old bag. Here bag is not used in the sense of that bag that we carry books, or we go to the market, all this, we carry vegetables or anything. This is not that type of bag. It's a word that has been used to insult somebody, something like, it's a silly old bag from next door, Mrs. Fitzgerald. Now here, actually the son told the mother that it's a silly old bag from the next door. But why I told the Cyril to be poor, because Cyril did not know that she was telling Mrs. Fitzgerald, she was criticizing Mrs. Fitzgerald in front of Mrs. Fitzgerald, because to whom she was talking, it was actually Mrs. Fitzgerald. You don't want her here, do you? And the son told her mother that you don't want her here. Do you want her here? Now Pearson, Miss Fitzgerald, sharply, Fitzgerald became very angry. Certainly I do. Ask her in. And don't call her a silly old bag either. This is very usual. If suppose somebody don't know your identity, and in front of you, he is criticizing you, he is calling you a different name. So what would be your reaction? It's the same reaction that Fitzgerald has shown here. That Cyril actually didn't know to whom he was talking. He thought that he was talking to his original, to his mother, but we know it was not the original mother. It was actually Mrs. Fitzgerald, and he was criticizing Mrs. Fitzgerald in front of Mrs. Fitzgerald. That's why Mrs. Fitzgerald became very angry, and this is very usual, feelings. She must be angry. In the place of Mrs. Fitzgerald, if anybody was there, that person must be angry with these. She is a very nice woman with a lot of more sense than you will ever have, and she told, don't call her a silly old bag. Rather, she is a nice woman, means she is appreciating herself, and she is having a lot more sense than you will ever have. she told Cyril that woman to whom you were telling, silly old bag, she is a nice woman and she is having lots of sense. And she is having lots of sense that you will ever have in your life. Now Cyril exits left. Mrs. Pearson finishes her stout, smacking her lips. Mrs. Pearson was drinking, so she had drank the stout she had in the glass and smacking her lips, and she was just licking her lips. Now Cyril re-enters left. Again, Cyril re-enters, ushering in Mrs. Fitzgerald, who hesitates in the doorway. Ushering in means welcoming in Mrs. Fitzgerald. So Cyril welcoming Mrs. Fitzgerald, and actually, don't forget, it was his real mother. It was, though she was looking like Fitzgerald, but it was actually Mrs. Pearson. So she welcomed her mother, who hesitates in the doorway, and Mrs. Fitzgerald was hesitating, means a real Mrs. Pearson was hesitating at the doorway. and she has come to see that how Mrs. Fitzgerald was giving the rough treatment to her son, daughter, and husband. Now Mrs. Fitzgerald, moving to left center anxiously. Come in, Mrs. Fitzgerald, that Cyril told. Come in, Mrs. No, sorry, this is Mrs. Pearson, Mrs. Fitzgerald told. Come in, Mrs. Fitzgerald. Now Mrs. Fitzgerald, moving to the left center anxiously. She came very much anxious, you know. I just wondered if anything is all right. See, there is a gap in that speech. I, then space means hyphen, then just wondered if anything is. She was very much scared because she knew the nature of Mrs. Fitzgerald very well, and she knew that how actually Mrs. Fitzgerald, how she was giving a rough treatment to her family members, and she was very much anxious to know. And she was actually as if fumbling. She was fumbling, and that also shows that she was still lacking the confidence in her attitude as well. Now Cyril sulkily, no, it isn't. When she asked that, all right, everything is all right. At this, Cyril was standing there. Cyril told, no, it isn't. Cyril told, no, nothing is going in a right way. Now at this, Mrs. Pearson sharply, of course it is. You be quiet. Fitzgerald, actually this is Fitzgerald, though here Pearson. Pearson means actually Fitzgerald. She actually now told, rebuked the son when the son told nothing is going well. And she rebuked her son. You be kept quiet. You keep quiet. Now Cyril indignantly and loudly. Indignantly means losing his patience. Why should I be quiet? Now, if you take your example, suppose mother rebukes, it's very usual. But if mother rebukes in front of a neighbor, then really it's a prestigious matter, isn't it? That really sometimes when mother rebukes, we got angry. But yes, we got angry, but we may not say anything to the mother. But if it happens in front of, it's not an issue. We don't feel that's a great thing when mother rebukes, mother chides. It's not a great issue. But if it happens in front of an outsider, if it happens in front of a neighbor, then really it becomes a great issue. That has happened to Cyril as well. That Cyril, why he lost his patience, that mother was chiding or insulting him in front of Mrs. Fitzgerald, who is their neighbor. Now Cyril, indignant, and Mrs. Pearson shouting, because I tell you to, you silly, spoiled, young pycan. Now, again, one after another, mother started to insult in front of Mrs. Fitzgerald. Here, young pycan, it's it's nothing, not such meaning over there. It's a word has been used to insult, to rebuke, Now Mrs. Fitzgerald, protesting nervously, oh no, surely. Now Mrs. Fitzgerald means actually Pearson. She was shocked because she could not tolerate that her own son had been treated so badly. And she was telling, oh no, she tried to normalize the situation. Now Pearson, severe, Pearson means Fitzgerald got severe and told, now, Mrs. Fitzgerald, just let me manage my family in my own way, please. Now she is telling, to whom she was telling? She was telling that, Fitzgerald was telling that, let me manage my own family. Don't forget, it is not her own family. She was giving that treatment on behalf of Mrs. Pearson. And now she was telling to Mrs. Pearson that, please, let me do this, what I am doing. Now Fitzgerald, yes, but Cyril, yes, Fitzgerald means actually Pearson. She told, yes, but Cyril, now Cyril, sulkily and glowering. Mr. Cyril Pearson to you, please, Mrs. Fitzgerald. Now, It happens that in front of the neighbor, in front of an outsider, when a mother rebukes or insults her son, the son becomes very angry toward on the mother, but the son could not express that anger. So the anger outburst happens on the outsider. Here also, when just Mrs. Fitzgerald told, yes, Cyril, but at this Cyril became very angry. Actually, he is not angry with Mrs. Fitzgerald, but he was angry with her mother. But he could not express her anger because he found mother had changed so far, and expressing the anger, he could not do anything. So he became very angry, and he told Mr. Cyril Pearson to you, please, Mrs. Fitzgerald, means as if he wanted to tell to Mrs. Fitzgerald, please don't poke your nose in this issue. This is our family matter. Don't cut in. Don't try to cut in. Now Cyril stalks up into the kitchen, and Cyril went to the kitchen. At this, Mrs. Fitzgerald, means Pearson, real Pearson, moving to the city, whispering, oh dear, what's happening? She was very much, panicking. She saw that her son had been treated so roughly. Now, Mrs. Pearson, means Fitzgerald, calmly, nothing much, just putting them in their places, that's all. Fitzgerald told, no, nothing much, I'm not doing anything more, I'm just putting them in their own places. Doing what you ought to have done long since. And Fitzgerald told to Pearson, though it is that Pearson is telling to Fitzgerald, but we should read that Fitzgerald is telling to Pearson, and telling that I am doing this what you ought to do doing what you ought to have done long since. And then Fitzgerald told to Pearson that I am doing the just thing, I am doing the same thing that you ought to do long since. Now Fitzgerald, Miss Pearson, is George home? Means Fitzgerald was asking for whether, wanted to know whether her husband has come here or not. Is George home? Then, where it is? She sits beside Mrs. Pearson on the settee. Now Pearson, Miss Fitzgerald, is telling, yes, I have been telling him what they think of him at the club. And Fitzgerald told, yes, he has come home, and I have already told him what the other people at the club tell him. Now Fitzgerald, means Pearson, well, they think a lot of him, don't they? Now see, so gentle wife. The wife always thinks that other people think great about her husband. So when Fitzgerald told Pearson that yes, your husband has come home, and I have told him that what the other people at the club they think of him, they call him. At this, the wife thought, oh, I must think that the other people think a lot of him, don't they? Now Pearson, means Fitzgerald, told, no, they don't, and now he knows it. Now the Fitzgerald told, no, other people don't think a lot about your husband, and what they think actually now your husband knows. Now Mrs. Fitzgerald nervously, oh dear, I wish you hadn't, Mrs. Fitzgerald. Now here Mrs. Fitzgerald is telling Mrs. Fitzgerald, means Mrs. Fitzgerald means Pearson. Pearson is telling, because they were addressing as Mrs. Fitzgerald and Pearson because nobody was there. So Fitzgerald is telling, oh dear, I wish you hadn't, you should not told all these. Now Pearson, nonsense. Doing them all a word of good, and they will be eating out of your hand soon. You will see. Now eating out of your hand, it's an idiom. Eating out of your hand means they will follow you. They will they will follow all your instruction. Okay, so Fitzgerald is telling nonsense. I am doing all good for you, and they will be eating out of your hand soon. They will be eating out of your hand soon. Why you are just so much scared? Now Fitzgerald, Miss Pearson, I don't think I want them eating out of my hand. Pearson is saying, no, I don't feel that all my husband, my son, my daughter, or my family members, I don't want them that they should be very much scared of me. Actually, eating out of hand means following out of actually fear. So here Pearson told, I don't want that they should be very much afraid of me and they should follow everything what I tell. Now Pearson, Miss Fitzgerald, impatiently, well, whatever you want, Fitzgerald told, whatever you want, they will be doing it. All three of them. And Fitzgerald actually assured it to Pearson, okay, you don't want that they should be eating out of your hand, it's different, but whatever you want that they should do, they would do it. Mark my words, Mrs. Pearson. Now see here, Fitzgerald is telling, Fitzgerald actually assured, mark my words what I am telling to you. Understand so far? It's time up. So today up to this. In our next class we will continue, and I hope we would need another 3 classes to complete this whole chapter. So thank you very much for joining my class and being with me. So thank you. It's goodbye. Thank you.